Today we would broach on the concept of development agreement in real estate. Hello friends, I am Sanjay Arora. By profession I am an advocate. I welcome all of you to my YouTube channel Legally Determined. Let's understand what a development agreement is. A popular mode of developing property, especially in big cities, is by way of an agreement granting development rights, popularly known as development agreement or joint development agreement, or in a nutshell, it is called DA. The system of flat ownership is behind the rise of the concept of development agreement. In this concept, the initiative for sale or purchase is no more that of the owner of the property or of any bona fide purchaser. The initiative is generally that of a third man who is neither personally interested in the sale of the land nor in the purchase. Such a third person is a builder or a developer. The owner of the land grants development rights to a builder or developer to carry out various activities such as to obtain the necessary permissions to construct the building, to market and sell the flats, to receive the consideration, and to form a society or association of flat purchasers. The division of responsibility in a development agreement. Thus, while the owner retains the possession of the land, he gives a license to the builder to enter upon his land, construct the building, and market and sell the flats so constructed. DAs, development agreements, are increasingly accepted because of their many advantages both for the owner and the developer. The developer does not have to block huge funds in buying the land, and thereby he can improve his cash flow. He may pay a DA premium, but it would be significantly lower than buying the land on an outright basis. This is one of the biggest advantages of a DA structure. As regards the owner of the land, he gets an opportunity to share in the profits of the development with real estate prices touching all-time highs. Most owners do not want to lose out on the potential gains that can make from selling the flats. Thus, in several cases, a DA is a win-win situation for both the parties. The developer agrees to purchase or induce the owner of the land to sell the land, constructs a building there too with flats, sells the flats to different purchaser of flats, and out of the purchase price of flats, pays the price of the land, meets the cost of the construction and earns his own profit, and thereafter hands over the new property to a representative body of flat purchaser and walks away. The agreement he enters into with the owner of the land is not a simple agreement for sale or purchase, but is an agreement that has come to be known as development agreement. A development agreement, apart from containing an agreement for sale, contains provisions for obtaining such government permissions, the responsibility for which is generally taken over by the developer. The ultimate sale or transfer of property is generally in favor of the purchasers or their organization, and the development agreement contains provisions to that effect. It is thus a multi-pronged or multiplex agreement. A developer or builder therefore enters into an agreement with the owner for development of the land. What are the various modes of development of property? For the purpose of development, a developer has to secure some vacant land or land which can be redeveloped so as to enter into a deal with the owners thereof. This is done in the following ways. First, by outright purchasing the land if it is freehold. Second, by obtaining a lease of the land, and if it is already a leasehold, then by obtaining a sublease of the land. Third, by entering into an agreement only for carrying out the development as an agent of the owner or promoter of a cooperative society independently. Or fourth, by entering into an agreement for purchase or lease with the owner and simultaneously commencing development on the land. Out of these modes, the last one is very common, by entering into an agreement for purchase or lease with the owner and simultaneously commencing development on the land. In the case of the first two mentioned modes, first by outright purchasing the land if it is freehold, and second by obtaining a lease of the land, and if it is already a leasehold, then by obtaining a sublease of the land, the developer, after going through the formalities of investigation of title, etc., completes the sale or lease by obtaining a deed of conveyance or lease deed in his favor and then develops the property in his own name and on his own responsibility. But in such a case, the developer has to incur the cost of the stamp duty and registration as per conveyance. The third category of development agreement, by entering into an agreement only for carrying out the development as an agent of the owner or promoter of a cooperative society independently. In this category of development agreement, where only the development right is given to the developer by the owner himself or by a promoter of a proposed cooperative housing society or company who has entered into an agreement for purchase of the property with the owner thereof. In such an agreement, the owner or promoter only gives a right of development to the developer, namely a right to construct a building and sell the flats therein on the developer's responsibility, and the owner only agrees or undertakes that on development being completed, he will execute the deed of conveyance or lease directly in favor of the cooperative society or the company to be formed by the flat purchasers. In such a case, there will be no agreement to sell the property to the developer or his nominee. The obligation to transfer the property to the cooperative society or the company of the flat purchasers is a statutory liability of both the owner and the developer, as they would be both the promoters. Fourth, the fourth type, namely an agreement of sale and development, consists of two parts. One, the regular agreement of the sale of property to the developer or his nominee, including a cooperative society or a company. The other consists of an agreement whereby the owner, namely the vendor, gives the right to construct buildings thereon on ownership flat basis and an independent right to the developer to sell the flats in his own right and ultimately to obtain the transfer in favor of the nominee of the developer, who is usually a cooperative society or, though rarely, a limited company. The second part of the agreement contains all the rights or powers given to the developer to carry out the development work and sell flats and enter into agreements with the intending purchasers. So far as the second part of this agreement is concerned, it is a usual agreement for sale containing more or less the same provisions as are contained in a simple agreement for the sale of property. The vendor is also required to make out a marketable title free from encumbrances and claims, and the same procedure of investigation of title is followed. Under the second part of this development agreement, the developer is allowed to enter the property as licensee under a power of attorney given to the developer or his nominee. This is done generally after the developer is prima facie satisfied with the title of the owner and pays a substantial part of the consideration agreed upon to be paid by the developer to the owner. The consideration generally represents the price of the property, because so far as the owner is concerned, it is virtually a sale of the property. The consideration is either paid in money or by providing to the vendor one or more flats in their new building free of cost, or partly in money and partly by way of providing. So we have discussed the concept of development agreement. Now let me sign off. You must have enjoyed this video. Please like, share and comment on my videos. Thank you for watching this video. Break a leg. Goodbye.